His Majesty King Mohammed VI, may God assist him, accompanied by His Royal Highness Crown Prince Moulay Al-Hassan and His Royal Highness Prince Moulay Rashid, delivered a speech to members of Parliament on Friday on the occasion of the opening of the first session of the 4th legislative year of the 11th legislative term. The following is the text of the royal speech. Praise be to God, and peace and blessings be upon our Master, the messenger of God, his family and companions. Dear ladies and gentlemen, respected parliamentarians, I am pleased to address you today at the opening of this legislative year, and through you the various bodies, institutions, and citizens, regarding the recent developments in the Moroccan Sahara file, as it is the first issue for all Moroccans. I have said since my accession to the throne that we will move in the issue of our territorial unity from the stage of management to the stage of change, internally and externally, and in all dimensions of this file. I also called for moving from a reactive approach to taking the initiative and being firm and proactive. On this basis, we have worked for years with determination and deliberation and with a clear vision, and we have used all available means and capabilities to publicize the justice of our country's position and our historical and legitimate rights in our Sahara, despite a difficult and complex international context. Today, the truth has emerged, praise be to God, and the truth is supreme and nothing is superior to it, and just causes always triumph. God Almighty said, "And say the truth has come and falsehood has perished." Falsehood is bound to perish. God Almighty is true. Here is the French Republic, recognizing the kingdom's sovereignty over the entire territory of the Sahara and supporting the Autonomy initiative within the framework of Moroccan territorial integrity as the sole basis for resolving this artificial regional conflict. On this occasion, I extend, on my own behalf and on behalf of the Moroccan people, my most sincere thanks and gratitude to France and to His Excellency President Emmanuel Macron for this explicit support for the Moroccan Sahara. This positive development supports truth and legitimacy and recognizes Morocco's historical rights, especially since it came from a major country, a permanent member of the Security Council, and an influential player in the international arena. In addition, France is well aware of the reality and background of this regional conflict. It also comes to support the efforts made within the framework of the United Nations to lay the foundations for a political path that leads to a final solution to this issue within the framework of Moroccan sovereignty. Ladies and gentlemen of Parliament, this French position is part of the positive dynamics that the Moroccan Sahara issue is experiencing, which is based on consolidating Morocco's sovereignty over its territory and expanding support for the Autonomy initiative. Thus, we have been able, thank God, to gain the recognition of influential countries, permanent members of the Security Council, such as the United States of America and France. We are also proud of the positions of our sister Arab and African countries, which clearly and committedly support the territorial integrity of the kingdom, especially those that have opened consulates in Laayoune and Dakhla. In parallel, the Autonomy initiative, as the sole basis for reaching a final solution to this conflict, within the framework of Morocco's sovereignty, enjoys broad support from an increasing number of countries from different parts of the world. We mention among them our friendly Spain, which is well aware of the intricacies of this issue, given the deep political and historical implications of its position, in addition to the majority of the countries of the European Union. We would like to express to all these friends and partners our deep appreciation for their positions in support of Morocco's primary cause. We also thank all the countries that deal economically and with investment with the southern regions of the kingdom as an integral part of the national territory. They thus keep pace with the path of economic, social, and cultural development witnessed by the Moroccan Sahara and strengthen its position as a hub for communication and exchange between Morocco and its African depth. It also places it at the heart of the strategic continental initiatives that we have launched, such as the Morocco-Nigeria gas pipeline project, the African Atlantic Countries Initiative, in addition to the initiative to enable the Sahel countries to access the Atlantic Ocean. Ladies and gentlemen parliamentarians, despite all that has been achieved, the next stage requires from everyone more mobilization and vigilance to continue strengthening our country's position, publicizing the justice of our cause, and confronting the maneuvers of our opponents. In this context, the foundations of the Moroccan position must be explained to the few countries that are still going against the logic of right and history, and work must be done to convince them with legal, political, historical, and spiritual arguments and evidence that confirm the legitimacy of the Moroccan Sahara. This requires the concerted efforts of all national institutions and bodies, official, partisan, and civil, and strengthening coordination between them in order to give the necessary efficiency to their performance and actions. You, parliamentarians, are well aware of the effective role of partisan and parliamentary diplomacy in gaining more recognition of the Moroccan Sahara and expanding support for the Autonomy initiative as the only solution to this regional conflict. Therefore, we call for more coordination between the two houses of parliament in this regard, and the establishment of appropriate internal structures with qualified human resources while adopting standards of competence and expertise in selecting delegations, whether in bilateral meetings or in regional and international forums. Ladies and gentlemen parliamentarians, the gains we have achieved on the path to closing this file and the economic and social development our southern regions are experiencing were thanks to the solidarity of all Moroccans and the concerted efforts of all of them in order to consolidate national and territorial unity. We cannot miss here to commend the efforts made by national diplomacy, various concerned institutions, all active forces, and all free Moroccans, inside and outside the country, in defending the legitimate rights of their country and confronting the maneuvers of enemies. We also express our thanks and appreciation to our sons in the Sahara for their constant loyalty to their country, their adherence to their religious and national sanctities, and their sacrifices for the sake of the territorial integrity and stability of the kingdom. In conclusion, we affirm that Morocco will always remain firm in its position, faithful to the approach of openness to its Maghreb and regional environment, which contributes to achieving joint development, security, and stability for the peoples of the region. Allah Almighty said, "O you who believe, if you support Allah, He will support you and plant firmly your feet. God Almighty is true, and peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah be upon you."